Okay. Peace, everyone. Already. But peace, everyone. Peace, Sister Marcia. Peace, Sister Deirdre. Peace, Sister Kashia. Already. Uh, okay. And welcome to Movie Understandings for another strong. And I'm Brother Low. you know. Um, already. Um, we're starting off once again with the second part of the Serpent from 5 through 8, right? And basically, we're starting off from March 11th, 1976, Peace Max. They're in Bangkok, and we see that Nadine is with Alan and Angela, and she's Angela's calling about the raid to Nadine, right? But she's with Alan and company, so you really can't talk on the phone, but they're letting her know and things of that nature. The raid's supposed to be happening and whatnot, and they're giving her notice to get out that house, before it happens. But Herman asks, Simons, to go to kind of house, to basically stall and check on Nadine, why he calls, the Thai police department, to speed up the raid, right? Because she's already there, So, he gets the okay, but while that's happening, IJ tells, Alan that Nadine's been snooping around, you know, and yeah, it's pretty obvious that she's been snooping around. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide that. And the major general instructs the Green Unit to basically uh go go with the mission. While Simons is trying to get to Conant House, and while that's happening, Alan is questioning Nadine about, Dominique and why he left and things of that nature, just to really fill her out. Because he already knows pretty much that she's an accessory to, him leaving to go back to France, you know. But we see, Simon's getting there in time. But before that happens, Alan likes to, have people punch his chest or whatever and whatnot. And he does that with Nadine, you know. And then, he messes with her wrist a little bit and he is about to take her, back upstairs to the apartment, and then Simon gets there in time, But while he's there, he tells, she tells Simons that she wants them to stall the raid, so she can get all three because, um, Marie and AJ, they went off, supposedly did, tell her, get her dress tailored or delivered, get her dress delivered or whatever, but it is what it is. So it's a lot. So Herman has to call back to the major general and tell them to wait. And then, the green unit of the Thai police, they're waiting. They sitting around in their cars or whatever, And when that happens, once all three of them get back, then the police raid is a go. And everybody goes to, Connet House, But while that's happening and whatnot, Alan sees that the police are there, and he prepares for the raid. Last minute, he says, "Man, if you do everything that I say, what I'm saying, we gonna get out on there." And he just gives directions to IJ and Marie. What I'm saying, and they get arrested and whatnot. Peace, Padmini. Um, And so when that happens, we see 2 days earlier, when Alan and Marie talk about, Nadine helping Dominique, and then, the same day, that's the same day that they go to the mailbox to check Dominique's mailbox. They're not this guy, but they're checking his mailbox, to, I would say, at least back then, sometimes it just seems like there was not a lot of security for people. You could just go in and say, "Oh, I'm this person's friend," and they're away, or when I'm here to check their mailbox. Without any identification, like they're doing. But they see, Nadine at that box. If you go back into other episodes, that's what that scene plays out. You know what I'm saying? And then we see Alan meet, Suda, in that time, and he tells her, to order, the largest, gemstones, or quantity of gems, on consignment. you know, just the fact that he was talking about consignment, it it made me think of, you know, BIG's, 10 crack commandments. And I was like, consignment, you ain't supposed to, but it is what it is, but so, so they could sell, but he wants her to do that so they could sell all these gems in Paris. And then he sort of proposes, but with the sapphire engagement ring that he gave to the Dutch couple that he killed. That's crazy. But yeah, she's all, yeah, but she's all, heart fluttered and whatnot. But she says, her father should be here, whatnot. And he says, I'm not trying to marry your father. And that, and he gives her his briefcase. But when they said that lines, I was like, see, that's how you get them. You know what I'm saying? Her father should be there, and he's not there. He's already doing some shady stuff by giving her the ring and giving her the briefcase. But because her father's not there, her covering's not there, he's able to get away with a lot more, way a lot more, because she's unprotected in that time. And when I saw that, I was like, to me, it was like, so really, romance is a gem. Greco-Roman romance is a it's a scam. It's a scheme. But it is what it is. But after that, you see 3 hours later, at the police station, as they getting, say reined in and whatnot. We also see Herman and company, they starting to celebrate because they got him, right? But then, the captain, of the police station explains to Herman, that this is not Alan Gautier. This is Alan Gore, from the U.S. He got a U.S. passport, and he's that's not his apartment. They're holding the apartment for the real Alan Gautier, and whatnot. But Herman's like, that's the guy. All I need you to do is hold him, till, and they hold him till noon, right? But because of all of this stuff, going back and forth and the rigmarole, Simon says, he's done, right, Max? No true covering, and so we see the last few episodes, but yes, they were very intense. So Suda asks, she's basically, I guess you say, getting ready when all this is happening, getting ready for an engagement party, at her house, with all her family and whatnot. But the engagement party never happens because Alan is getting arrested. So she asks her father to help him, and he's like, no. He's like, nah, I don't even have the rank to help him. But I'm not helping him, because she's like, he doesn't do drugs. He don't even drink. So what? The fact is that he's in a drug raid. you know, that he's hot. I ain't going near him. You know, um, he, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that accent, but after that, the U.S. One of the U.S. secretaries for the embassy goes with Herman. Goes to Herman because he wants to know. He has a file, and it's about a missing persons, which is Teresa Knowlton. The original person in the bikini. That started the bikini killings. Or the saying the bikini killings, right? So they tell the captain, that they go to basically the police station to look at the passport, and they say that his passport is definitely a fake, by having the U.S. ambassadorial secretary or whatever, foreign secretary, look at it, say, oh yeah, it's good, but it's fake, but he wants to talk to Alan, saying, and Alan talks to him, and he talks to him with an American accent. It's very that's the beauty about him being the serpent, but he's also like that chameleon where he can have this American accent. The problem is with that accent, he had it so easy. You would think he had a split personality. He had more than one split personality, right? But the problem is you have to look at the passport and then look at him. It said that he was from Iowa. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're from Iowa, but you don't have, and basically that's what the foreign secretary notes. It said, you're from Iowa, you don't have a Midwestern accent. You know, I know people may not see it, people in the US, we all have different accents. I usually speak with a country southern accent, but even I got a Midwestern accent, and it's noticeable with people from the East Coast and how they got East Coast accents, New York accents, Boston accents, and then when you get to Cali, and West Coast, they have an accent and whatnot. And when you get to the South, yes, they do have an accent, But yeah, that was the red flag for him. Yeah, me? No way, no way. I don't talk like that. Me? No. But yeah. Um But funny thing is about that, Sister Kashia, one time I had to tell somebody, oh, tell them where my accent come from, because they was from pretty much saying, he said, oh, that accent from people from Mississippi and Alabama. I'm like, thank you. Let them know. I was real gung ho about it. Where I got my accent from. But yeah. So while he's interrogating them, he says, oh, well, Alan says, well, I spent too much time with my parents, my grandparents in Puerto Rico, right? I mean, he has the look. I mean, realistically, the real person does not look Puerto Rican, but for the actor, he okay. But at the same time, if you dig deeper, that's one thing that the foreign secretary didn't do. He didn't dig deeper and say, "Oh, you from Ohio? Well, Iowa? Hawkeyes? Where about? Or whatever, or get to know them, keep them talking. Like some my name is Precious. Okay, like some like some policy agents do. They keep people talking so they can get more out of you, right? But he didn't keep them talking. He's like, oh, so you're Puerto Rican. Okay. Where about in Puerto Rico are you from? San Juan, or whatever, what part of the island you from? But for me, logically, I'm like, okay, he's Puerto Rican from Iowa. When you think of migrations, like many people, many cultures that come to America, the Puerto Rican migrations, and you like Iowa, but that's why you keep them talking to know his story and to see if it fits, right? But then logically, if this person is supposedly this Alan Gore, You know, exactly how y'all get to Iowa. That should be an interesting story. You know, exactly, Sister Kashia. Um, yeah, should ask them the capital or insert a lie. Yeah, what is the capital? I'm not gonna even act like I know. I don't know what the capital of Iowa is, but I know a few. I know a few Indian tribes, especially the Kiowa. The Kiowa, but yeah, but he didn't dig deeper, and whatnot. And so, Secretary Redland um, also goes and interrogates Marie, you know, and he shows her the pictures of Teresa, and it's noticeable, with Marie, basically, her verbal communication. Thank you, Des Moines. See, Des Moines, Iowa. Yeah, that D. Yeah, yeah. Now I remember. Thank you, Sister Deidre. But her verbal communication, but her verbal communication says she knows something. You know what I'm saying? Because she's about to burn herself with her home cigarette because she's looking at those pictures and she knows that woman, right? And he notices that. But it's amazing, that seeing all of that, they can't hold them longer or whatever, and rather than, tell Sermon that, basically, once they leave that place, because they know something is bad, something ain't right about those two. But he once they leave and he calls Herman up and tells him that the real David Allen Gore was robbed and drugged in Hong Kong, and he's in a hospital right now. You know what I'm saying? So they got the right people, but Alan and Marie and Ajay, they are able to escape with police help, with that police agent and that was like a private or something. I'm going off. Just a police officer, what I'm saying? And so the major general, comes up to that precinct, and everybody's just fumbling their fingers like they don't know what happened or how it happened, how they escaped. And Herman brings up the safe, and the major general's like, "What are you doing? Open the safe." And while they're doing that, Nadine goes to Alan's apartment, and it's night at this time, and she sees Ajay, and Ajay, tells him, "Oh, we know that you told. He saw your map. He knows you snitched on him, and we'll be back." That's what Ajay tells. Because he's there to get some things, some confidential things. But we see Alan talk to basically Suda. You know what I'm saying, and you know give her some lip service. You know what I'm talking about, but takes back the ring. But he does that, while he's talking to her. He does that in front of her father, right? Her father's there, and he's like, "Oh, it's all a misunderstanding and whatnot." And then looks at the ring and it's like, "Oh, this, I'm going to have them repair this." You know what I'm saying? Excuse me for a moment. He leaves the room, but you could see that, under male covering, her father wouldn't believe in that. But he takes the ring, takes his briefcase, and leaves. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. And puts it on Marie's finger. Like, this is where it belongs. It's like, you just put that on a. Anyway, he dirty back it. But but in episode 6, we get some backstory. November 6, 1969, in Paris, we see Alan marries Juliet, his wife, Juliet, which, the real Charles Sophraj. Her name was, his wife's name at that time was Chantal, not Juliet. But then we fast forward to 7 years later, you know what I'm saying, and we see IJ getting, Alan's real, citizen and documents, as him being Charles Sobrach. Serious pimp vibes. That ain't pimp vibes, man. Max, don't yeah, I'ma act it up. We ain't gonna talk about that. Next. That's not that is trickery. So I would say that's trickery, you know. But he gets that from the apartment. That's what he's really there for. And we see also Simon's giving Herman a gun because he's like, man, you're gonna need this. And Herman being, a little scaredy cat, you like, I don't want this gun. Those little 6 shooter. It's like Snow's 38 special. You know what I'm talking about? Saturday Night Special. You know. Of course I know. He kills him 38 special or Saturday Night Special, And he's scared to take it, but he takes it anyway, And then we go to Karachi, Pakistan, and Alan and Marie, go and check into a motel. But, while that's happening, Alan calls basically his buyers in Paris, you know what I'm saying, trying to set up a meet. And then we go back, 7 years again, you know what I'm saying? And Alan, Juliet is, well, we know that Juliet is pregnant at the wedding, but hasn't told anybody. And that's how we find out that, his government name is Charles, and and he's been in prison in France. Now, realistically, in real life, historically, we know that Charles, went to prison and basically jail in France for at least car theft and some other robberies. But one I know for sure was car theft. And then we see, Alan, he wants to leave, Paris with Juliet, and go, back east, and whatnot. And then we see, Herman, after all this ordeal, because they really didn't get him, he's paranoid, and he even pulls a gun on Angela, because he's so paranoid. And then he gets in trouble with the ambassador, and then he's told to take a holiday. You know what I'm saying? He's done all this work, and he's told to take a holiday. And IJ, he finally comes to Karachi, but then we go back 5 years, to Bombay, and Charles is living with Juliet and their child, and then we see the news about 3 weeks later, somebody breaking into the Ashoka hotel by and we find out that it's Charles. And then he got the goods with him, and then he while he's on the phone, he helps him get arrested. Mind you, the name Ashoka for that hotel is actually a Indian king, who ends up becoming a Buddhist. There's a movie about it, if you ever want to watch it, and how he becomes that, this great king, warrior king, and then he becomes basically a man of peace and a Buddhist monk or whatever, But after that, he gets arrested, and then we go, fast forward, it's back and forth. Nadine calls Herman, from vacay, so they can go look at, the apartment, because it's up for sale and nobody's there, and anything can be in there, And then while that's going down, IJ tells Marie that he forgot a diary, which we know that her diary got all all the stuff they done did pretty much, So IJ and Marie, they fight and whatnot a little bit, about what's going on. And IJ tells Marie about Juliet, and he lets her have it, like, you're just a substitute for Juliet, his real wife or whatever. Oh yeah, you didn't know about that. Now did you? He just lets her have it. And then we see IJ spying on Maria as she's going, to the confessional, um, and whatnot. And he tells Alan, about that. It's like, man, we don't need this chick. She may drop a dime on us, whatever. you know. And so, but then we go to Thailand and we see, not a smart thing to say to someone keeping a murder diary. Exactly. Especially if you know what, man. You don't one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to make the woman mad. Don't make the woman just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. You usually when you're doing a crime, and you have an accomplice that is a female, you want to at least try to keep them happy so they don't snitch on you. Whatever. But yeah, we see, Herman and them, basically they are, at Conant House and they're looking around, investigating the apartment and coming up with, looking for things and coming up with things. Basically, collecting the dots to connect the dots and really, and while they're looking around and in this apartment. And then we go back. Right, I was with IJ on capping Marie for sure. Yeah, you can cap her, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you can cap her, but it's, tell you the truth, it's already a done deal. The block is already hot. You know what I'm saying? You already made the. I mean, really, you already made the block is hot with just one drug rate, even if it wasn't for that reason. The block is already hot. Even if you do kill off, there's still evidence of what y'all did. So you may not need the person, but they already got the written record. Exactly. The diary is already written. So you're already done. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah. And so we see, Charles escaping from prison. And we find out from Juliet that, his daughter's been sent back to Paris, which she really did do in real life, And Charles is on the run in Afghanistan, and of course, because I've been there, I'm looking around like, this don't look like it. I'm looking around for mountains and stuff like, where's all the mountains? I'm talking about. But they on the run in Afghanistan. But he's caught on the road because of the simple fact that, the car died, well, car didn't die, but the wheel gave out, you know what I'm saying? But that really showed how large Charles' ego had become. Yeah. He should have continuously traded out Marie's like he did victims to be safe. Well, Sister Kashia, you can't say that because of the simple fact that trading out Marie's, all women are different. And not only that, you got to think about this. You want to stick with the girl to give you the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, right? Also, you want to stick with the woman that gives you the most cooperation. Right now, Marie's giving the most cooperation because she's in it. She really can't. She don't got a choice anymore. She's really an accessory, so she got to go. But if you keep on trading out Marie's, you don't know. You keep on doing that, you gonna find somebody to snitch or somebody to catch you slipping. More exactly, man. It's more liabilities. That's true. Sister Shia. I mean, in the later episodes, we find that out. We find that out. But yeah, he was feeling the war, but that goes to the psychological. But him and Juliet are caught in Afghanistan, right? And that's true. They both do go to jail there, you know. Um, but we go back, we fast forward, and Alan is confronted by Marie about Juliet and things of that nature. Of course she is. And Alan, gets called from, the buyers in Paris, about the gym purses again, talking about, when you gonna get here. We're willing to buy. And so while they got, so we go back to Thailand, we see Angela typing up, Marie's diary, because she knows French and whatnot. And not only that, Nadine and them know French, so of course they can read it. So while they're doing that, you know, they find out her real government name. You know what I'm saying? Because she finally said it. So no more aliases, no more peace chief, So bam. What's and that's the other thing. So once they got your gov, you done. They got her full gov. She's done. you know. But yeah, and then we go back and we see Charles calling his mother to tell her that he's coming back. You know what I'm saying? Coming back to Paris. And Alan tells, he drives off with IJ and tells him that he doesn't need him, and really just disrespects IJ and whatnot. Me personally, if I was IJ, I have I have a tool with me. Oh, so I'm nothing to you, okay? Well, one of us ain't coming coming back. But yeah, he disrespecting them, and he takes the car, and leaves IJ there or whatever. Historically, it's said that IJ was presumed, he's dead. He's supposed to be presumed dead. You know what I'm saying? But then we go 3 years back in Kabul, and we see, while Charles is in prison, we see Juliet telling him that she's going to divorce him and she's going back to Paris, because they're letting her go. You know what I'm saying? What, this is gonna be a trend. This is gonna be a trend, really. And that's what she called, basically visiting him to tell him about. And then we go back, Alan's telling Maria about Juliet, which he's lying. Juliet's supposed to be dead. Juliet ain't dead. But that's what he tells her. You know what I'm saying? See, he dirty back it. Talk about. And it's like, oh, she took my child away from me and whatnot, but now she's dead and I don't grieve for her, but she hurt me so much. And he just pointed out, getting her into that emotional state, preying upon her emotions. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, he knows a sucker when he sees it, right? As she's eating it up. You know what I'm saying? And so, we got Herman, he gets, a forwarding address, from Marie's parents, in Canada, you know what I'm saying, of, Gaultier's mother's address in Paris, right? And while that's happening, Marie and Alan are trying to make it to France. They actually cross the border, they drive across the border. Yeah, them emotions written down in that diary. Exactly. That's why you don't leave evidence. But I mean, hey, it. Look, it is what it is. But that's the end of 6, right? And then we go to 7. And then we have May 1st, 1976 in Paris. And Herman's trying, call the French authorities. I mean, any French authority, that will listen to him. But he keeps them getting them running around saying they can't do anything, they can't do this, they can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And, we see Nadine And basically her husband, they also go to the French embassy in Thailand to tell them what's going on and whatnot, but they say they can't do anything either. And then they help Dominique get away, so that makes them accessories to a certain crime like that or whatever. um but yeah, but then we are rewound back, and we meet Stephanie. And Stephanie, she tells her mother in Paris, or France, that she's going to Bangkok to find Vitali. And we know Vitali is the Turk that got laid low in Thailand. you know. Um and so, Nadine and her husband, they tell Herman they're done. People, they're tired. Simon's is tired. Everybody's done with this. Like, man, we keep on getting, you know, hit against the brick wall. We are tired. Nothing. Don't nobody want to listen to Herman. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be done with this. So they're done. You know. And then we see Marie meeting Charles' mom, who is being the meat, and she has that look of, I wouldn't say disapproval, but she just got a she got a sedity look about her. you know, you know. She got a sedity look about her but she has a reason, because she knows Charles is on some BS, you know. But she meets his mother, and Marie tells her that she knows about Juliet and how she died. And all he wants to do is see his kid or whatever, and she knows about the kid and whatever. And the mother's like, he told you that? Because she knows that Juliet is alive. Everybody knows. Yes, Mama knows. Mama does know. But she tells Marie that she can never have a normal life with Charles, because she thought the same thing of his father. Ugh. Yeah. Should I say it? His mother made some bad choices in her life with dudes. So yeah, she would know. you know. Um Yeah, Mama does know, because she's speaking from experience. you know. Um yeah, but do you think Mama does know, but do you think Mama had something to do with how Charles is? Yes, Max. I do think, well, um as I said, in the first part when we was talking about this, the real Charles Suffrage, he was abused by his mother. He was abused by his mother. So yeah, she had something to do with that, because she did abuse him. They don't say that in the TV series, but she did. She did abuse him. I ain't gonna say. I just know one thing that she did, and I'm not gonna say what she did, but because it's nasty. But she did abuse him. She did. Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did abuse him. Um, he did bounce around between both parents, and but I know for a fact, historically, she did abuse him. So yeah, it just don't go into that in the TV series, but yeah, she did have something to do with that a lot, you know. So yeah, um, but she tells her that, you know what I'm saying. And I find it interesting how she tells Charles, you're 30, you're 33. Jesus died at 33, and then he says, "I'm smarter than Christ." Why did I think that was like a hot 16? I don't know. But think of just off 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 tangent. 33 master build numbers, numerology. Y'all can look into that. But yeah, you know. But I like how her mother tells his mother tells her that, because it reminded me of something something I was told long ago. Um yeah, when I was talking on some game from one of them southern, from this elder southern lady. She told me, if you're a good guy, usually if you with uh, a no good woman and you meet her family, and if you're a good guy, they'll tell you the truth about that person you with. They will tell you. They may be subtle about it, but they'll tell you. They'll tell you. In some type of way, they will tell you, because they don't want you to get hurt. Because they don't like that person no way. And that's what she does for her. Like poor lost soul. You gonna make the same mistake I did, and I'm gonna tell you, you ain't gonna have, you ain't gonna have the life that you want. You ain't gonna have babies with him. No, but yeah, and poor little thing, poor lost soul. But poor, poor unfortunate little mermaid. Dang. Um, but so Herman, sees the editor of the Bangkok Post, and he basically pitches the story, because people are talking about it or writing it, but they're not getting the actual facts. So he goes to see, the editor. You know what I'm saying? Wow, Alan is basically, looking at his child from a distance. You know what I'm saying? Seeing her and Juliet together. You know what I'm saying? And then we see 6 months earlier, we go back to Stephanie arriving in Canada House, and she meets Alan and company and asking, have you seen this? Have you seen this guy? He's my boyfriend or whatever. And then she sees, Ajay has his beads. He would never. And she's like, he would never, take off his beads. How you got them? Yeah, so because she had me. But yeah, and they try to calm it down and whatnot. And they roofie it, basically. I say roofie, but they roofie a drink, And then we see also Marie confronting Alan about the same woman, Stephanie, and he, she asked him to swear on, his child Madhu, that he didn't do nothing for her, and he does, which he's lying, but he'll even do that, that, see, lack of character, he'll even do that, that's wow. But yeah, if memory serves me correct, his child's name should be Osha, not Madhu in real life. If memory serves me correct. I know it's not Madhu for real. They changed that. But yeah. And so, Bangkok Post publishes the story, and Interpol comes to Herman about all of this. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to know, basically what's going on. If you got all this, all these facts or whatever, we need to know, what you got, pretty much, because we got missing people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still looking for a guy that's basically of similar description. But while in Paris, we see, the gym meeting with, the buyers or the Baudets and Paris. And basically what they do is they confront Alan and Marie or Monique about being murder suspects, because of the simple fact that there's a communique from Interpol that they are murder suspects. You know what I'm saying? And they have that. You don't do business with people that you don't know and don't have all the facts on them. So they got some dang on receipts, on them. And they put that on the table. You know what I'm saying? But they buy the gems anyway and give them the money. But they give them a check. They ain't giving them cash. you know. But it is what it is. you know. So then, um, we go back and we see, Stephanie being sick and whatnot, and she's incapacitated because she's been roofied. We see Alan telling her how they killed Vitaly, and they're about to do the same to her, you know. And so Angela um, tries to convince Nadine to talk to, the Interpol agent because the Interpol agent is interested in getting involved and seeing all the data that Herman has basically accumulated and whatnot. But Nadine, is basically skeptical, And then we see Marie, goes back to see Charles' mother so she can get more facts on who Charles is. And then his mother his mother tells her about his half brother Guy, who's in prison in Greece, because they used to switch identities, and then when they figured out that Guy was not Charles, after they tortured him they kept him in prison. Historically, I don't know if that's true because all I know is that only Charles was in prison in Greece. And he was in, like I told you in the first segment, last strong, he was in a prison that was supposed to be in the Greek prison that was supposed to be in Pendra. Nobody could escape, but he escaped. So yeah, but Charles goes and visit. While all of that's happening, I find it interesting. While Marie is visiting his mother, she tells Marie asks, why do why are you helping whatever? And she tells her that because I get to revisit the time that I had with his father, and that's the only man I really, really, truly love. You know what I'm saying? you know, and I'm like, oh, Oedipus complex, huh? Oedipus complex. Yeah, that's very relevant to being a serpent as well. Yeah, that's how he pretty much got his name. But yeah, that's she revisits the time that she had with his father. That's the only man she's ever loved apparently. Who's like I told you, they both have remarried. You know what I'm saying? Never to be seen again, but it is what it is. But to see that psychologically play out, and that pretty much answers your question, Sister Kashia, if she's ever done some to him. By that statement, she did because she loved his father like like a like a lot of single parents. They love the person that they coupled with and hate them at the same time, and then they take it out on the kids. So yes, you know. Um, but that was very interesting that she said that. But then she also told him that basically Juliet is alive, and he's lying to you. That's what he does. He lies. She gives him the fact, gives her the facts. He lies. That's all he does is lie. And whatnot. But then we see Charles visiting Juliet, and she tells her, I'm married, I don't think, and then Charles plays on her emotions, like, do you not love me? Do you not love me anymore? And she doesn't answer, but she's like, please leave, and whatnot. But he goes and whatnot, But one thing I think she saw some of herself in Marie. Yeah, she she did, you know. And it's funny that he visits Juliet because what does Juliet say? That Marie looks like her. And then what does he say? Of course, of course she does, because he's in love with Juliet or whatever, you know. um, so yeah, that also goes to show you that what I just said is right. She's a substitute for Juliet, you know. Right. She never used to be. No, she probably wasn't. Time has hardened her. I don't that and probably um the time and culture that she's come from. You know what I'm saying? She's older than Charles, so she was around during the French occupation of Vietnam. Um, I don't believe nobody, that was during that time have any, don't have any hardness, in any, that's lived in any, basically colonized state, from somebody else. She got yeah, and she got some experiences, but yeah, and then we see basically, Marie and Charles, on the cover of magazines and whatnot. Basically they've been made, like man, you been made. You done, you know. And there's, uh an international police warrant. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They Interpol is issuing an international arrest warrant. Like I say, there's nowhere in the world you can go. Every uh, police department in the country gets one of these, and you're done. It's like whoa, you know what I'm talking about. But Interpol goes, basically to Charles' mom's house, but they don't know that that's his name. They says this, this Alan Gautier's mom lives here, and she says no, that's not his real name. His name is Charles Soparach. You know what I'm saying? Mother snitches on him, but hey, it is what it is. But she gives them um his real gov. But at the same time, if that happens, I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying, if you give him, he already got a record in France. So you can put two and two together, like, what? And then find out that the same person is probably the one that would escape from prison in Greece. Da, 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 da. You can put more to the case, more jail to be, more jail time, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was like she was expecting him. She knew. But you know what? She probably was expecting him because she's been there before with Charles. She's been there before. It's like, people, people with, um, felons for relatives. You expect the cops, coming about, when you got a, a serial criminal, in your family. They gonna come around and call your phone or whatever, you know, and you just be like, he ain't here or something like that, or whatever. So yeah, it is what it is. So um that happens and whatnot, and then I got this. Charles and Marie are on the run, and they gotta leave France again, because of this. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny that the road that they take as they're leaving is basically none other, because they get to Bombay. But basically, what are they taking? The dang on hippie trail. That's basically what they're doing. As they're on the run. To me, you want to deviate from the route, but they're literally taking the hippie trail to Bombay. It's like, what are you doing? But then that's the end of 7. Then we get to 8. And then it's, June 28th, 1976 in India. And then we see, the feds. Well, not just the feds, but a lot of government agencies, are at Herman's house, and they're looking at all this data, and evidence, whatnot. But they're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? That's making Herman mad. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even doing anything. They're not investigating anything. Shoot, I'm a novice and did more, did more work than him downstairs. Oh, man. Anyway, I ain't messing with you, sister. Shit. Like he says, they really ain't doing they ain't doing no work. But they're looking at all this evidence like it's a museum. But we see Charles and Murray are using new people to, basically run the scam that they've been running in Thailand, but only in India. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, I don't know if there were a male accomplice at this time, but I do know there were two women, two Caucasian women, that were accomplices at this time. That's for sure, because they will get arrested, really, historically. So, Monique calls home while Jean, the male accomplice, that's on the scam or whatever. She's calling home, and her mom knows and things like that, and she's just calling her parents, and whatnot. And you can see from Marie, she's tired. Marie is tired. She's tired of running. She don't want to run no more. She's like, she's basically coming to clarity that this guy's ruined her life. Really. And she's just tired. She's really tired. But while she's calling home and explaining everything to her mother or whatever, Jean just takes the opportunity, swipes the bag like child's play. I mean, like like child's play. Like, and to me, it's like a kid from the third world at that time. They used to just snatch bags like for nothing, like yoink, and you ain't gonna feel it. I mean, that's how it was. You know what I'm saying? Breeze breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Mental and emotional exhaustion. Yeah, that's what she had. And you can look at her and tell she was, she was getting sloppy. And hey, homie saw the opportunity and was like, yoink, done. Took the money and ran. She didn't, but she was so tired of this mess. She didn't even go after him because she saw him. She's like, I ain't chasing after him. I don't even care no more. She's tired. And she don't even care about getting the money back. So Charles and Marie fight about this, man. And Marie lets him have it, calling him a mama's boy. And that's why his mama's disowned him. She know where to hit. Right? She know where to hit. And because of that, Charles beats the mess out of him. Then he becomes, he domestic abuse. Bam, he beats her. You know what I'm saying? Because of it. And then 1 week later, we see John talking to basically Delhi police. Actually, if you don't know, that's actually the guy that's Inspector Tooley. He's actually a famous Bollywood actor. I've seen him in a few Bollywood films. He's good, well, Bollywood, but Indian movies. I've seen him in a few Indian movies. Actually, as what he's playing, a police officer, but he's good. He plays a cop real well. But we see John talking to police about this and whatnot. He's basically giving information, but we see Interpol asking for Herman's files, because they're taking over the investigation. But before they can do that, Herman copies all the files. You know what I'm saying? And so we see also Nadine and her husband leaving for France and whatnot. And, we got Angela wants to go visit her family in Germany because she's tired. You know what I'm saying? And Herman, he wants to stay. He don't want to go on vacation or whatnot. He wants to stay because he wants to stick with this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, really that's his purpose. I mean, that's what he's finding his desire and fulfillment in. And that's where it's pushing him to go. And she ain't with it no more. She don't want to go along for the ride no more. Really. So she ready to go home. Right? Really ready to leave him. But we know that. We know that's gonna happen. But yeah. So John, is working with the Delhi police, because he wants to go home, So he's basically a corroborating, he's basically snitching. He's corroborated and whatnot because he wants to get home. He's poor. He's poor. He just, man, if you can get me home, I'll tell you anything you want to know. But then we see Angela, like I said, Angela leaving Herman. And because of that, Herman goes to the disco. I was waiting for them when they was gonna go to the disco, but they go to the disco. He with the homies and whatnot, Simons and Flavor, Labor, and whatnot, and he just partying, I'm talking about. Yeah, the luxury life of illusion is over. Yeah, but you know what? I will say this. First off, Charles should never went back to Paris. And the reason why I say that is because of this old saying that all of us has probably heard. You could take the guy out the city, but you can't take the city out the guy. That's basically what happened to Charles. You know what I'm saying? All the bad things or the bad character or whatever as a criminal that he had in Paris and whatnot, all of that resurfaced back up when he went back to Paris. But when he was in Bangkok and whatnot, he was good. I mean, he was living good. He was confident and whatnot. And, he was Alain Gautier. You know what I'm saying? He was getting it, But when he goes back to Paris, he's Charles. And then you see him doing this, having the same problems that he had with Juliet, like nobody believes in me, I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to be this, be this person. And, I'm lying and I'm doing penny any crime stuff just to get by. You know what I'm saying? That's why you should never went back to Paris. There's nothing for you there. You know what I'm saying? And everything that you left there is going to surface right back up. And then you're going to get sloppy. Which that's what he's doing right now. We was living good in dang on Bangkok. You know what I'm saying? Really getting away with the scheme. But because, his true self was resurfacing once he got back. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't take that sober assessment or whatever you want to call it and say, nah, I can't go back there. Can never go back there. The person that I was there is, yeah, it'll come back on me. Nah, I can't go back. Yeah, okay. His insecurities resurface. Exactly, Max. His insecurities resurface. His not just his insecurities, but also his bad habits. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to his child, Juliet, his mother. Why go back? You might as well know. Because all the things that kept you, that shackled you or whatever, it's right there. So why go back? But he went back. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It's just like when people, do bad stuff in their cities and then they try to relocate, like like nothing's happened, so nobody knows what they done did. Then they come back to their city and then you see how they really are when they around their own folk, and that's it. Same thing, same example. You know what I'm saying? He also wanted to prove himself and show that he was good enough for Paris, aka Juliet. And yeah, yeah, but he should have let that dream go. He should have let that dream go. You know what I'm saying? You win some, you lose some. But Paris is a whole new breed of fish, as you can tell by the buyers. He too small time for Paris. He need to play in his league. His league was Bangkok, Thailand. He could have wrecked shop, but he trying to play in somebody else's league and about to get took. Or he's been playing in that league and he gets just straight wrecked. I mean, what's wrong with him, Mike? His thought process of everything will be fine made him look outwardly insane. Yeah. Or that he could control everything, that he can control the situation, or any situation, because he always thought basically it was all in his mind. He should have stayed in countries that kept saying there is nothing we can do. Exactly. Because what, you bring that up, so here I am I'm like, it's 1975 and this dude is traveling to Tehran. Like, you going to Iran in the 70s? What is wrong? To me, I'm like, what is wrong? You going to Iran, Pakistan? I'm like, but hey, you can go to those countries that probably, live good and do criminal mastermind capers, But here I am thinking, I would, be as a foreigner, I would not go there. I ain't messing with the Khomeinis and them, no. But he could go to those places and be good, So yeah, he should have stayed. He should have stayed in the third world, as they call it, the third world. Them third world countries. Maybe that was his realm. By him being being from Vietnam and whatnot, that's what he knew. So he should have stuck with what he knew. He didn't know nothing about France, even if he was, lived there for a long time. He really didn't know. But it is what it is. So, we see that. And then we see, the cops. Charles is trying to work a tour group, right? A German tour group, running the same scam, But because John, corroborated with the Delhi police and whatnot, basically the jig is up at that time. But Charles is while he's trying to work this tour group, everybody gets sick in the hotel. You know what I'm saying? And then we see the police picking up Marie. Marie, like I say, she looks tired. She looks at the police. She don't even try to run. The other girls in them, they running like, we gotta go now. Marie just stands there not caring. She don't care. You know what I'm saying? While the tour group is getting sick or whatever, basically Charles goes for the bag with all the travelers checks and whatnot and passports. But when he does that, he ends up getting arrested. Because they are already there. He didn't poison them. He poisoned them. They were sick. They were eating. They were taking those pills that he suggested for them, and that's why they were getting sick. But the problem is they were getting sick too fast. They got sick too fast, and he couldn't make a clean getaway. You know what I'm saying? Like the movie, The Witches. I assume he tainted the food, and we didn't see it. No, what happened was they were taking those pills that he was telling them to take. Like I said, take one. Um, one in the morning, twice before bed. They were taking those pills, and he was giving it to them, but they was getting sick too fast. Usually you don't see them getting sick so quick. That the I think the German professor's wife, she got sick too fast. While they were actually eating. I hate to I hate to say it, baby. He messed up the dosage, man, and that got them sick too fast. I don't know nothing about that life, but that's my guess. you know. But yeah, he was getting too bold. You know what I'm saying? But that happens, and Charles get arrested. But then we see, after all of this, they get Charles and whatnot. But Herman is ostracized by the ambassador now, which Simon told him that was going to happen. But he is ostracized, and then he was too excited and getting 30 at once. That's crazy. Yeah, he probably took. You ain't supposed to get too greedy, but also, you know, even Charles was taking drugs at that time. As you see in the TV series, now he was taking drugs when he didn't before. So that can also dull his clarity to do you know crimes and get away with them. You know, never get high on your own supply. See, you think a crackhead pay your back, you get it. Anyway, yeah, he's slumming it. But yeah, so we see that, and then a year goes by, and then we see Interpol meeting Charles in prison in India. And we find out, basically Charles is going to serve out his sentence in India. But then, once he serves out his sentence in India, then Thailand will come pick him up so he can be he can be charged with what his crimes in Thailand. Like I said, if you ever had criminals for relatives, that really does happen. You 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 know your family come home, they do a bid in one state, and then all of a sudden they find out, oh, you gotta do something that you did in another state, and they come to collect. They're like tax agents. They want a piece of you too, so then you gotta go out of state again to another penitentiary. It's crazy or whatever. you know So, but this is on an international scale. So, yeah, you know. So, Interpol, the Interpol colonel, gives Herman, Marie's testimony, and Marie just says, gives the whole blueprint. you know, she gives the whole blueprint, and basically Herman's reading it. And then 7 years later, you know what I'm saying, actually knowing the story, Marie is sick and she visits Charles, and she's saying she's being released to die, really. She's being released to go back to Quebec and die, literally, because she has cancer, you know. And that's true. In real life, historically, um, Marie dies from, ovarian cancer. And remember, so correct, she dies in 1984 or 83. But yeah, she dies in the 80s. But yeah, she, she leaves him just like Juliet, pretty much. She's in this wheelchair or whatever, and she says, man, I'm going to die. You'll still be here, or whatever. But or whatever. You'll get out or whatever. But I'll be the stupid Quebecois, that's that. you know. Then we seen, July 21st, 1997, you know, in Paris. He didn't care. No, he didn't care. It wasn't like when Juliet left. He was, please, baby, baby, please don't go. Please don't go. Something like that. And then he's singing, baby, I deserve. Because he couldn't forget that chick. Anyway. Yeah. So, Braj escapes by being extradited, um, basically, to Thailand, and he escapes for 22 days. And because of that, he's again sentenced by the Indian courts for another 10 years. But because of that, the statute of limitations for Thailand, for his murders in Thailand, expired, and then he cannot be extradited to Thailand, and so he goes free. Which is, I guess that you can also say that was a plan. Okay, if he knew the laws of Thailand, he knew that, or the statute of limitation of Thailand, he could guess, oh, well, if I escape here, you know what I'm saying, they'll take some time on, but it won't be too long. So I can escape the statute of limitations in Thailand and not be killed. To me, that was also a scheme to escape the death penalty from Thailand or whatever. So he's free, and he's interviewed, and Herman sent the video of his interview from Angela, who's they're divorced, by the end, whatnot. And we see after his interview, Charles is with who other than Juliet? Yeah, interesting. So 6 years after that, Charles goes to Kathmandu, India, and he's in Kathmandu, Nepal, not India, but he's in Nepal, and because of that, he's showing off like, okay, I'm gonna take pictures and let them know where I'm at. Well, that happens, and because of that, he gets arrested. You know what I'm saying? And while Herman is in New Zealand, he got he got a new wife. Her name is Vanessa. you know. Yeah, I was like, what? She still? Yep, she went. She went. Yeah, I can understand that, because I was like, what? She's still going? She's still going. Yeah, I think he wanted to get caught. That, or he wanted, like Herman's. Well, I'll say that in a minute. But he gets a call from Angela, because she works at the UN in New York, and she lets him know, well, what do you think he's doing? Now that he's in Nepal, and he tells her that, well, we know one thing, he likes notoriety, and two, he's probably in Nepal because he wants to show that he can escape. He wanted to get, so it goes to what you were saying, because Sister Kashia, about him wanting to get caught. Also, he can show that even as an old man, I could still escape. Them, like nothing's changed. I'm still the serpent. I could still get in and get out of jail, like it's nothing. And then you have Herman, asking the Nepal police to hold him. Now, mind you, the person that arrested Charles is the same guy that was investigating the murder of Connie Joe Brosnich and Laurent Carrier. or whatever. Um, and so, you know, Herman faxes a copy of Marie's statement because he still had his, he still had all the evidence. So he faxed the copy. Thank goodness for fax, for fax machines. But he faxes a copy of her statement of them being in Nepal and the murder of um, Connie and Laurent, you know, and the police getting in time just as soon as they let him go, and they run to get him back and say, "Oh, you're not going nowhere. We're rearresting you because now we got evidence from who? No, none other than Marie." Yeah, he was smiling cameras and everything. So in November 2004, Charles was sentenced to life um, for the murder of Connie Joe Bronsnich. Um, that happened in 1975 in December. And he lost two appeals. Mind you, in 2010, because this is basically the end, the UN of Department of Human Rights Committee or whatever, they expressed the view that he didn't get a fair trial, whatever. I'm just surprised that the UN spoke up on his behalf or had a view on it. Mind you, he made the UN look like dummies with his crimes, but it is what it is. And then we have into 2014, where he's found guilty for the murder of Laurent Cartier, you know, and is given 20 more years, So you already get a life. Oh, we're gonna give you 20 more years. I don't know how that, but hey, it is what it is. And then December 2020, he's still remaining in prison, so he's still in prison to this day. He ain't getting out in Nepal. But we find out one thing. Dominique lives in France and he's married and got grown children. Angela retired from the UN as an under secretary general in 2015. Herman was basically sent everywhere. It just seemed like he never went, as far as anything. And he never got no recognition on all that he did. It says something, you know what I'm saying? But he did so much, and he didn't get no medals, he didn't get nothing, no, pretty much no recognition. But it just goes into everybody's story, on what happened. Like they say, IJ was seen in Germany. Like I say, it's said he's dead, so whatever. Just a secretary to him. Yeah, man, but I mean, that secretary was able to do phenomenal detective work. Phenomenal detective work. I mean, and you you gotta respect that. But I mean, hey, if a secretary could do all that, shoot, that says a lot. you know, that says a whole lot. But I I enjoyed I enjoyed this very much. I think this was a good selection, and this was selected by Sister Shamanique. So I give thanks to Sister Shamanique for that. You know what I'm saying? Because she did a good job with selecting this. Like I said, this was not on my radar, right? But I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad that uh she gave it. You know what I'm saying? So that is what we are on. So next strong, we are going to be talking about one of my well, yeah, I really do like this movie, even though yeah, we're next strong. We're doing Memoirs of a Geisha. We taking it to Japan. So we are doing Memoirs of a Geisha. We gonna get into some courtesanry, just from the east side of the game. So you know, if you like that, come and show out. And tomorrow we be doing Shaman New and whatnot. So hey, we out here, So yes, it's a it's a favorite, it's cool, So yeah, so that's what we'll be doing, and I will see you next strong, so we can get into that. So yeah, um, yeah, yeah, Max. I haven't seen it in a long time too, So I can't wait to get back into it again. So yeah, so give thanks everyone um, coming in. Glad y'all enjoyed yourselves. So like, great. Reminds me, I have to step up my sneakers. I tend to break down out of order, but it's great to be walked through. Like, oh, gee, the Bevakashachi. But I mean, that's just that's just me and my I guess you could say my detective mind. You know what I'm saying? To put everything in order and whatnot. Don't pay no never mind to it. I mean, it is what it is. But hey, shoot, you go above and beyond. You like Buzz Lightyear. So let's not even go there. So yeah. So that's yes, the chair. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the chairman and Chio. We're gonna talk about Chio or Sayori. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna be talking about. So I will see y'all next show. So give thanks everyone to peace.